Welcome. My name is Sujira,
My name is Miraj.
and welcome to All Things Marketing with Sujira and Miraj. Now, guys, a quick introduction here. As you can see, two amazing gentlemen by my side. Marketing is life. All of our decisions are based around marketing. Just look around you. This podcast has been designed when Miraj and I came together and we were thinking, Miraj, Sujira, how can we help brands who want to stay around, not just for today, but for tomorrow? And you're going to see that with our guest. All the big brands you can think of. Look outside: Nike, Adidas, McDonald's. Why are they there? It's because of marketing. You see them all the time. Your business will change when you understand marketing. Whether you're a startup, a Fortune 500 company, a family office, family business, you can come and join All Things Marketing with Miraj and Sujira. And we're going to be providing you lessons and having amazing guests of all industries, like you'll see here today, to come in and tell their stories while we talk about how they can expand, build a brand that sets the rest of time. Now, today we have a very special guest with us today. And before I introduce our amazing guest, let me introduce you guys to my amazing friend, Miraj. Now, when Miraj and I came for a podcast, it was phenomenal. His vision, his passion around marketing, and you can see that here today. You could see that here today with the guest that we have with us today. So, as I introduce Miraj, again, it is a pleasure. He is a Dubai and India based marketing and brand consultant. He's had over 20 years. Guys, I'm 29. He's had over 20 years. So when I was 9 years old, he's been doing this across India, UAE, Africa on brands and corporate house such as Unilever, P&G, Dubai International Finance Center, Tata Sky, and Reliance Giant. Miraj has built, shaped, and scaled up brands across geographies. As you can see here, we're Australia, we're all over the world here, guys. As a consultant, he works closely with startups and family offices. And we've seen a lot of interest from with Miraj, with corporate and Fortune 500 companies to build a brand around strategy, storytelling to scale up their business. So glad to see you again, Miraj.
Thank you very much for that lovely introduction, Sujira. Let me do the same for you. Sujira is a social media creative strategist, a personal branding expert, podcast host, and CEO of ETS, Rubasha Media, helping CEOs and entrepreneurs build bold personal brands to scale revenue with acquisition and through content storytelling and platform strategy through YouTube and LinkedIn. He leads from within, driving growth, visibility, and lasting impact. Very enthusiastic, beyond your basic profile. He is an ex-footballer, and which is what we will slightly touch upon because today's guest is a very interesting guest from the sports perspective, and he brings that enthusiasm that he had when he was a sports person. And I think some of the best people with most integrity and enthusiasm are the sports people. They come to the field, to the boardroom like the way they go on the field to start playing, right? So that's what Sujira brings in, and that's Sujira. And now for our esteemed guest, who is looking very casual, but he is very esteemed. But that's his style. Yeah,
Gotta
Yes.
so
promote the casual lookout, innit?
right. Sujira, I want to take a shot at introducing Shagnik.
Yes, welcome Shagnik. So this is a very, very powerful guest. Mr. Shagnik Bagnik is the promoter and CEO of Anjata Shoes India. Anjata Shoes India, PVT Ltd, a leading footwear manufacturer and retailer with a strong presence across Eastern and Northern Eastern India. He is representing the new generation as he is a visionary taking from the family name of Indian business leadership. He combines the legacy, the vision, the long term, his innovation, his passion to have that industry experience with modern retail and brand building strategies. Now, he goes way, way back. Born in July 1992, Mr. Bagni completed his IGCSE from Sarala Birla Academy, Bangalore, followed by his international baccalaureate from Indus International School, Bangalore. He's held a 3-year residential BA degree in business and finance from University of Wales. So he's well traveled with a great mind to be able to take the family legacy and move it forward. Over the years, he's actively contributed to strategic planning, new product introduction, retail expansion, and strengthening of operational processes. Now, when we had a small conversation beforehand, I spoke with him, and it was quite an interesting conversation with all three of us to understand his vision and where he's taking the company. So, Mr. Shagnik, it's amazing to have you on, and thank you for joining us as an amazing first guest.
Yeah.
Thank you for the lovely introduction.
Right.
And yeah, like excited to be here. A lot of cool things I need to show.
Fantastic, Shagnik. A little more about a few other things about Shagnik is I've spent quite a bit of time with him back in when I was in Kolkata for a week, a little more than a week. He is extremely passionate about what he's doing currently. I mean, it just gets reflected in everything he talks about, and we'll get to that. Also, he's majorly into dancing for the people who do not know that bit, and that's why the conversation today will again become very interesting. Shagnik represents the third generation of a business which has been around for 70 years. This is the 70th year for Ajanta. And he's spearheading the entire business, whether it's the brand which his grandfather started and yes, his father scaled up, and now he's taking the same brand and he's also created a new entity, and now he's going to take it. He's taking it nationally and globally. You know, it's available right here in Dubai as well. The product that he's selling. So with that introduction, let's deep dive into immediately about what we are going to do today. So the theme of today's session is about family businesses and family offices. And having worked myself with the family offices in with a few companies, and I've been doing it for the last 4 or 5 years, I know the challenges that they face. But I will ask the man of the hour about the challenges that he faces in his day-to-day life and how he handles it and what he goes through, because I've seen his working day very closely. But I would like to hear it from Shagnik. Over to you, Shagnik.
Thank you. All right. So when the company was started by my grandfather, and at that point of time, we started with about 3,000 pairs a day, and my dad basically took that to almost 2 lakh pairs a day, kind of a figure.
Wow.
All right, and right now I have a bunch of people looking at me like, what the hell are you gonna do, man? You won't be able to compete with these people. And yeah, as much as that adds and looks pretty scary for a layman, all right, it's also motivating. And sometimes you don't really have to work on big quantities. It's rather being the best seller, being the most innovative product out there, on marketplaces, on different countries' marketplaces, being aggregated by Amazon into different markets without doing any ad spend, basically. So today's success stories are different, and as much as I want to build on quantities, but what a footwear business has the biggest challenge is the fact that the amount of SKUs that there is. All right. So what we have is a mammoth of 3,000 SKUs. All right. Each
Wow.
of them having different
Wow.
sizes. Okay. So how to deliver to the customer is really hardcore. It's pretty much like a what do I say? A layman getting into an airplane and just, being all cool for the ride, not knowing how it actually works. But even though we have, we have the latest SAP ERP running and things like that, but the way, the whole uh, gamut is played is really cool. It cannot be done without a human touch or without a human personalization. So this is something like we kind of look out in our company. And honestly, throughout the years, the conversation level itself, all right, from Hawaii Chappal to a smart shoe brand, all right.
Right.
Love where the conversation is going in
Right.
just the last 5 years itself.
Right.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to my company's whole potential being unlocked.
Right. Amazing. So just to give a little bit of a context to those who are listening in, and I'm sure there are many who are there, and Sujira can see the number. Hawaii Chappal is something which is like the flip flops of India. We call it Hawaii Chappal in India, and that's how the company began, Ajanta Shoes, which Shagnik heads. And today, when I was with Shagnik. I mean, and perhaps I'll ask him to do a bit of a demo if he can. He demoed the smart shoes to me, which is a very radical product. No brand in the world has come up with something like that. It's something which runs through an app on your phone. It can do crazy things. It can be the most precise way of counting your, the number of steps that you have taken. And apart from that, it's gamification, music, photography, everything that you can do through your shoes. So it's a crazy product, and that's what Shagnik demonstrates. So what he's saying, I mean, Shagnik, if I was to ask you, you know, what did customers historically come to Ajanta for, and what are they now coming to Ajanta for? And I mean, what has been, you said about Hawaii Chappal to smart shoes, but has that whole inflection happened, or is it in the process? And how do you want to take it there?
Fantastic question.
Yeah, really nice question. Honestly, this is one of the most inspiring things for me. Like, I was traveling in a local train at one point, and I literally saw um, a whole compartment. Yeah, like not a whole compartment, a whole room. All right, a family sitting in a compartment, basically in a AC tire. So it's basically a room that is allotted in India. All right,
Mhm.
and the whole family was wearing my impactors to Ajanta. All right. So I
Wow.
wanted to ask them that, what's up? What made you choose it? So, one of the coolest answers I got was back in the day when people got their yearly bonus. All right. They would move to brands like Nike or Bata in India. All right. And the year that they wouldn't get their bonus, they would move to a brand like Ajanta. All right.
Right.
But now that has changed. If you go onto any AI and ask which is the biggest exporter of footwear out of India, you will get Ajanta shoes. All right. In most of the top sellers on especially the training aspect, okay, like you will see Impacto being on the top 5 in even like, of course, like we in some cases we are number 1, number 2, number 3. All right, so like it has moved a lot from where it's uh sorry
No.
from where it's come through from what it was. And honestly, like, we are still building. And honestly, our ad spend that we that's there on the marketplaces is pretty much nothing. All right, we are still majorly a wholesale company. All
Mhm.
right, but I'm putting all my eggs into one basket. I'm getting all the P's right, specially product. All right, I'm getting all the P's right. I'm waiting on 2 patents right now. Once things are ready, I'm gonna bombard the market with the adverts, which are going to be like majorly focused on how smart things can be, and how ergonomically uh, Indian designs play a big role in global footwear market.
Amazing.
Powerful.
Amazing. Incredible.
I actually have a question for Miraj. Miraj, where you sit
Sorry,
as
I think I got a call and the speaker got disconnected. I can't hear you guys. 1 second.
no worries.
Not a problem. It's an easy conversation, so it's okay. It adds to the reality of it. The busy MD getting a call while the webinar is on.
Sorry. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. No worries. Sujira, go ahead.
So I have a question for Miraj Shagnik, and I think you'd be interested in this as well. From how I'm sitting, right, as just someone, and let's say I'm an audience member, we have Ajanta, e-commerce, shoes that you guys sell, around, right? So it's quite powerful. Family business has been there for generations. Miraj, where you sit as a marketing consultant, what do you think Shagnik needs to do right now to scale this brand globally? Because from what I can hear, why don't I know of Ajanta right now? I should know that Ajanta exists. When I think of shoes, I should think of Ajanta. So for them to get there, what is it for you, Miraj? Is it investors? Is it going public? What do you think they need to do, or on the marketing aspect, for them to be where they should be?
Very interesting question. I would like you to know Impacto more than Ajanta, because you're sitting in Australia, right? Because the global ambition is largely for the and correct me if I'm wrong, Shagnik, because this is my understanding of the entire thing. Of course, Ajanta can also go places, but Impacto is the new generation, whatever, and we are looking at Impacto taking over the world, right? So that's number one. The other thing is that, look, great brands sit on storytelling. They don't sit. Of course, the product has to be amazing. See, I travel the world, and whenever I'm in trouble about what should I eat, I go to McDonald's, because I know I'll get the same McDonald's everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's the safest choice. When I'm confused what to go for, it's the safest choice for me. It'll be hygienic. It may not be supremely healthy because they fry the fries inside the oil, but the fact is I know what I'm going to get, right? So when I'm in doubt, I go to McDonald's. So that's the thing that great brands do. They build a narrative which is so strong that when there is a challenge, or when there is a problem, or when you need the right shoes for running properly, easily, because there is a wide toe shoes that Mr. Shagnik is creating for the feet to be comfortable while you're running, because most shoes are narrow on the top and that restricts the foot, right? So that's why when you come back home and you take off the shoes, you say, thank God the day has ended. Right? Why do you do that? It's purely because of the shoes. Nothing more than that. I have experienced it. And then I'm wearing his pair of shoes, which he gifted me nicely. I've stopped wearing anything else. It doesn't feel like I'm wearing a pair of shoes.
Wow, really?
Yes. And I run, I walk. It's amazing. I mean, initially, I was not a convert. He gave me and he asked me in 2 days' time, what do you think? I said, right, maybe this, okay, the laces, whatever. Man, give me 1 week, I was a convert, because it gets better and better. So I have my Nike and Adidas and all of those fancy shoes. This is what it is. It's the comfort. So that is what Shagnik is doing. He's applying the ergonomics, the science, and the feet technology to create something. So that story, that narrative has to be built in. People are not making shoes which are appropriate for your feet. People are making shoes which are perhaps fancy. And that's why it's trouble, right?
True. Honestly, like, we have 70 years of footwear understanding. We've seen feet change according to our footwear. And one narrative, which comes out of the East, is that the more conical your shoes are, the more better it is. All right. The more back in the day, in the early 18th century, it was considered in China that if you have conical feet, it's kind of
Right.
advantage for women. But honestly, if you have conical feet, your balance, your the way you feel the ground, the way your ligaments act while running, completely messes up. All right. And predominantly because China made shoes for the whole world. All right.
Exactly.
That tradition kind of continued. Whereas if you see the same kind of athlete growing out of a coastal belt, out of any city where he's not really worn any football shoes or any shoe for that matter, but has played a lot of football in the beaches, has climbed trees, has not walked on flat surfaces his whole life, his ligaments would be really strong. All right. And whenever these coastal people, they jump from a high height to a low height, okay, to a say from a like a basic higher uh, higher height to a low height. Once they jump, they will always land on their forefoot. Whereas we are so used to having cushion in our shoes that we'll all land on our heel. All right. So
Right.
makes a huge difference in how we go about things. All right.
Amazing.
So and plus, if you see their um, feet, they've never been restricted by shoes, right? So they are wide. A city versus a city boy, you push a city boy, he'll probably fall. But these coastal people who are used to climbing coconut trees or playing football in the beach, you push them, they're going to stand tall like a pillar. All right. So
Right.
this is something we are trying to build for people. And, another thing which is, major like health issue is the fact that, now that we live in buildings, high rises, we are not really earthed well. Okay. So it's only in the last probably 100, 150 years that we have flat flooring, tiles, and things like that. Usually we would always walk on normal ground. All right. So that would kind of get us grounding done in a proper way. All right. With positive and negative ions, like making our charge of the body being neutral. All right. Whereas nowadays, all right, because we are always carrying a phone, a smartwatch, and a lot of electronics on us, we always hold a charge. All right.
Right.
And this is something we are trying to work with the barefoot shoes, the barefoot lineup in Impacto, and really change this about India.
Right.
Hmm.
No, that's incredible, and the insights that you're giving. I don't know if you know people who are in the footwear industry, in the names that we know, think about so many things. When we were born, and we were not born with shoes on our feet. We started walking. When you start walking as a child, you start always walking as barefoot. Everyone in this world, right? I feel even wherever you're born. Um, and are something that comes later, and that's what Shagnik is trying to tell you, that it's healthier to be the way Mother Nature has given us our feet, and that's what he's working towards, right? If I'm
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
articulating it correct, and all his thinking, all his science. I went to the factory, I was there for a while. The kind of thinking that is going into creating these shoes is exactly coming from there, that comfort, fitness, and all of that. Shagnik, another question for you. I mean, where do you see, what does success look like for you in the next, let's say, 10 years? What's your vision? I mean, numbers of obviously is one thing, which is obviously the most important thing. But I mean, you can talk about numbers if you want, but beyond that, what does success look like for you in the next 10 years?
Honestly, the number game is, even though I'm a finance student, the number game doesn't really count here. All right, what we really look out for is how ergonomic the actions work without people firefighting, and people really looking by uh, the ways that we generate. People are very mindful. My workforce is really mindful. All right. Honestly, each of the factory, the waste that it generates, all right, the way we take care of it is like immensely looked at. Now, for the Hawaii factory, all right, when my grandfather first started the Hawaii factory, we had a small pond in the factory. All right. And for Hawaii, there's a sheet molding that happens where cooling needs to happen a lot. And
Right.
in about, like, I think it was 1950s, when he started the factory, he would take the water from the pond to cool his molds, his machines, and things like that. And within a year, he realized what it had done to the pond. All right. And back in the day, like in the 50s or 60s, like with market competition, all right, trying to do like the cheapest of the cheapest things, and getting do a go to market where the dealers earn, the retailers earn. My grandfather put in a closed loop water system where all the factory water was never thrown out and was recycled and reused. All right.
Wow.
In the 50s, doing that was a
Wow.
standard
It's
that was
pathbreaking.
crazy.
It's
All
crazy.
right. Yeah.
It's
And,
crazy.
now, like post COVID, we had a lot of time to think during COVID that what we can do with our waste. All right. So now, when we have husk boilers, we generate heat out of husk, okay, which comes out of rice basically. Then we also have, all plants are solar powered. All right. So, like, during COVID, we sat at the factory and we realized that, like, look, the raw material, the chemicals that are going to come from different parts of the world, is going to be really hard. Okay, so what do we do? Okay, so we need silica in a major way. So what we did was, after you burn the husk, the kind of ash that generates, we even recycle that. All right. And
Right.
we mix it back into the products as silica. All right. And in terms of the different plastics that come out, the different waste that comes out, we kind of find many innovative ways to use it back into the product. Whereas most companies, they just burn the product in their own land. All right. Here, what we are doing is completely recycling those or upcycling those and using it in some way or the other.
That's amazing. So the sensitivity towards the environment and climate and the world that you live in has been there right from the beginning, from your grandfather's time, which is
Yeah,
amazing. Which is, I mean, climate change and all of that is a conversation which has started happening in the last 30, 20 years, right? Before that, this conversation was not there in the narrative, the world narrative. But your grandfather, the vision that he had, I mean, it's amazing. And I think that's flowing down because of the kind of stuff that you guys are doing. I saw with the garbage, the waste thing that you guys are doing in the eastern region and how you dispose the garbage and so on and so forth. It's actually the legacy which started with your grandfather, which is now showing again. uh,
precisely.
right,
So,
right.
yeah, yeah. In fact, we have a really cool story where, like, every day, um, a truck goes to all the cafes in Calcutta, takes all their coffee waste. All right. After you take out
Wow.
a espresso, the coffee waste it
Yes, I
generates, the
know.
grounded coffee.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I ran
we
a coffee
take
shop in
that.
Goa. I ran a coffee shop in Goa for 1 year, so I know
Oh,
the coffee waste.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So we take the grounded coffee and mix it back with nitrile rubber and put it as soles. All right.
Look at
So
that.
yeah, and one of the biggest waste generating lineup is especially the kids, all kids products. Okay, they probably grow out of it within months or weeks, probably. All right,
Right.
so some of these products, the way we handle it is completely 100% recyclable. All right. So
Right.
especially like the kids section, which has always been one of the highest growth trajectory for us. All right. This like is a immense play where material science comes into play, and we completely can recycle a full shoe completely.
Matt, you speak like a scientist and not like an MD. Sujira, I have a question for you, and
Mhm.
which is related to, and Shagnik will also, I think, chime in, is that you've
Mhm.
been a footballer, right? And a professional footballer at that, right?
Mhm.
What has been your expectations from a pair of shoes? On field, off field. And if you say that, let me then Shagnik will respond whether he's doing that or not. Let's have fun with this.
That's a great question and great perspective. You know, even as perspective of a customer, I would say when I look at it, like when I was playing football, the football boots is something that's comfortable. You know, I know exactly that feeling you were talking about. There's times where I'm running on the field and I'm like, man, I can't wait to go home so I can remove these boots, remove these shoes. I can't wait because I'm in pain. You know, it's either a blister or so. Like, of course, you want something that looks good. I'm a stylish person, so if I wear my shoes, it has to match. It even has to maybe match what I'm wearing. It's got to look. I got to look good when I'm out there. So something that looks good, but also is comfortable. That is just. I don't even feel like it's a shoe. That would for me as a customer's perspective, as athlete, shoe or but both of those on the football field and off the pitch, like you said. For me, that's what I consider a shoe that I would just buy again and again. Something that is comfortable and natural and allows me to do what I do and let me shine.
Let me shine. I like that. I like that. I mean, Shagnik, let's make a note of it. The impacto makes you shine.
Let me
It's a nice way to put it, you
shine.
know. So, Shagnik, I mean, do you want to respond to what Sujira said
Well,
about the products that you are creating?
yeah, like shine at the cost of your feet. Okay, that's one thing. Like football shoes really make you do. I'll just
Mm.
try turning
Sharing
my
screen.
camera.
Oh, your camera's
Sure.
Uh,
on.
so a regular football shoe, which is
Mhm.
very narrow on your feet, all right, kind of makes your feet look like that. All right.
Wow. Yeah.
Now, what we offer is a white toe shoe, and this is our turf shoe that we are creating. Okay, again, a fully recyclable product. Okay, now how it's different is number one, it's basically really wide, all right, and has the studs that you require to play, all right, but it helps a child basically have grow within the shoes, all right. So if you really want your child to be a professional footballer, make him wear the shoe all day long, and he will probably run a second faster or something. All right.
Right.
Here, how this works is when you're training, when you're not really looking at being a professional footballer, all right, or even if you're looking at being a professional footballer, during practice, you wear these shoes, your toes are going to stay wide instead of a regular football shoe where it's very conical in shape. All right. So during training, most people actually wear our shoes, and on race day, they wear traditional shoes.
Question.
Mhm.
Question.
Mhm.
If they have practiced on your shoes and then they go on the race day with the professional shoes, will they be as competent as they've been with your shoes when they get into a new scheme of things?
Well, it also depends person on person, but what I've seen my customers do is basically when they have to play hardly half an hour or something, where like it's a proper match, okay, then they will shift to like traditional shoes, all right?
Right,
Because yes, conical shoes will probably shave a second of your 100 meter, all
right,
right?
right,
Okay, but during practice, when you wear my shoes, the white toe ones, all right, they really help out in, you know, uh, like basically separating your toes so that you have roomy toes. You use even the pinky finger to like lift off. All right. So your ligaments will be stronger. Your ligaments will be more reactive.
right,
Lateral movements, you will be using all your toes. All right.
right, right,
And best of all, you will develop a higher arch with white toe shoes.
right. Got it.
So, because the whole white toe shoes as well as zero drop shoes. All right,
Right,
because the most pressure in zero drop shoes will come onto the middle of the shoe, and
yep,
that's where you will be lifting from. So, you will get a much natural arch.
right. Got it. Got it. Sujira, you want to go next?
Yes. So on the technical side, this is a little bit of a questionnaire because we've had some of our audience who were also in the marketing field, and I'd also love Mirage's take on this. So we're going to ask you a few short-sighted questions for you to answer, and then I guess Mirage and I will talk about it. So the first question will come in is, who is your customer? Who is your customer avatar?
So, right now, I would say my customers are mainly millennials and Gen Zs who really look at the foot function rather than, just wearing a brand. And more than anything, the ergonomics, once they understand, all right, they literally do the word of mouth in a much cooler way. And, I mean, any good product, it actually goes through word of mouth. But here, what I'm really proud to say is that Impacto adds even has the cool factor to it. All right. 50% of Indian B-boys wear our products. Training category, we are number one right now. All right. Uh, Above and beyond, we have a really cool toe separating slipper, which no one in the world has made. All right. Which widens your toes from a work shoe where people love going to like people seeing the western movies and stuff. People like conical work shoes, all right? After they come back from work, they love slipping into my five finger slippers, all right? So these are some of the really cool stories we have, but above and beyond, like what we see is India needs to really work on winning the next Olympic sports, like at least get like halfway through what America is doing, right?
Right,
And one thing that is really like the issue for India is the air quality. All right. So, what we are trying to do is reduce the carbon footprint with our shoes. We've installed uh, dustbins to weight separation processes in a lot of places. We've done this in around 3,000 areas. All right. Uh, like 3,000 streets, I would say. All right. Different streets. And what we are really trying to do here is basically separate our products into an aspect where once you wear a Ajanta, all right, or a Impacto, there are certain things you are expected to do. All right. Number one, separating your trash. Number two, equality in gender. Number three, no harm to animals. All right. And like this, we have a certain rule book you follow that if you wear our shoes, these are the things expected from
So
you.
it's like, are you the Ajanta or Impacto type or not? Be the Ajanta type of a person. Be the Impacto kind of the persons, right? That's the
Precisely.
way you're looking at. I have an interesting question, and I'm bringing it back to our theme, which is the family business thing. Which is what was the toughest internal, or what are the toughest internal conversations that you have with your family, and your dad, and your sister is also looking at a certain part of the business, and the market realities versus family expectations, and so on and so forth. So because our theme is that, and I would really like you to, and you are a very, very truthful, and you're not very transparent person, so I'm sure you'll give the nuggets for people who are listening to it, and get some insights into handling this. It can be tough. I have worked with family business for the last 5 years, and I know what it can be. So yeah.
All right, lovely question. This question's really like point on to my heart. Okay, so Indian customers really look out for Western brands, what West is doing, what brands people are wearing in West. All right. Uh, Air Force, like the Nike Air Force, hasn't become Nike Air Force because of just the Nike outlook, but rather because of the movie Top Gun. All
Yeah.
right. So
Yeah.
in India, people are really influenced by movies, and for some sad reason, Bollywood really promotes Western brands above and beyond. All right, even if they are not sponsoring a movie or anything. All right, here, like basically my parents came up and the board, like they challenged me that, like, look, you're trying to reach out to the gyms. Gyms are the worst market for you. All right, and especially your price point is unheard of. All right.
Right.
Gym users will first only look at buying a Nike, Under Armour,
Yeah.
Asics, because they feel that other people will perceive them a certain way if they wear these brands. All
Right.
right. Beyond that, even the cleaners and the trainers will wear the shoes that they whom they are training. They'll probably wear their second-handed shoes. Yeah, the
Right.
used ones. You,
Right.
my the board said you're not gonna find a niche in this. You're never going to find a niche in this. It's literally where people are going to discard their shoes and the other gym users are going to use it. Today, again, we are number one, number two, number three on the training category. All right. Like breaking these kind of stereotypical understanding. I'm not saying they were wrong. They weren't. All right. But breaking these kind of stereotypical aspects is hard. But you know, consistently making people aware of your product, what it does, and just not advertising it with a known face. Really, like not taking the easy way out is what I'm trying to say. Really helps the product reach the right audience.
Right. Uh, Sugira, you want to go next? Do you have a question for Shagnik?
Yes, I do have a question. Do you guys make UGC content?
We do. Like honestly, a lot of our QC managers, we like to call it. All right. The way, especially our B boys and athletes, go about tearing down our product. All right. Like honestly, like initially, the B boy dancers that would do like, you know, I had this guy doing flips, okay, back flips. He could do like 10 backflips within 5 seconds. Like unreal. Like once he gets into a no like a speed, he would do 10 black backflips within 5 seconds. All right.
Right.
And do different kind of movements with his shoes. All right. Where even the toes, like the top part, where the shoe covers your toes, all right, even those wouldn't survive. All right, within like maybe 4 days of use, they would actually wear out. Today, like being very close to these athletes and dancers, we are now developing different kind of you know compound and sole molds for them, so that it's much easier for them to do a backflip, land on their heel, and still get an extra cushion. All right, I'll show you how that works. So when on a dancing shoe, we kind of have this embossed area. So once you land in this area, it will, no matter, there is a lot of cushioning here, all right, but still this part will touch the ground. Okay, now, and because
Right.
there's nothing here, and an external force when you're doing a backflip and land on the heel, this area will again go down and touch the ground. Okay, and it adds to like the construction of the shoe in, like, really cool ways. It's not only just the compound or the formulation of the midsole that changes the game. It's also how what the construction of the sole is. All right,
Right.
so these kind of things has really, like, made us closer. Like, we've screwed up when we started. All right, we have a
Right.
lot of
Right.
stories and molds we had to throw away, literally. But
Right.
today, one by one, things have fallen in place, and all the old mistakes, like, my users come back to me saying, like, oh my god, look at what we used to be. So
Right.
70 years legacy kind of really builds on that.
Which segues me to the next question. Talk about smart shoes. 70 years and smart shoes. How do they rest together? How do they come together?
Great question.
Right, so this is what one of my favorite question is to my consumers is, what do you expect out of a 70-year-old brand? What next? All right.
Exactly. Exactly.
And most even entrepreneurs, when I speak to them, like, okay, someone's killed the t-shirt game. When you ask them what's next, they'll be like, shorts. We are coming up with really cool shorts. You're not solving anything, mate. All right. So here, like, really less people actually came up with IoT in shoes. All right. And for a brand coming out of east side of the world, and like, where it's the most price conscious market.
Yes.
All right, it's really hard to do something out of these markets. uh, Such a price conscious market, you like, no, even my CEOs who were forced to work on this, they didn't believe on in it. My family, my earlier CEO, they were all
Wow.
like, mate, it's not gonna work. All right. But I kept pushing just because of one aspect. All right. since we are a Calcutta based company, Calcutta contributed to 12% of world's GDP. All right. My upcoming line this year is going to be the fact that if Calcutta still contributed 12% of world's GDP, how would our product line look? And thus the smart shoe. All right.
Right.
So there are many cool aspects, many things that we've done where no one has really, thought of. Okay, so this is my basic app. It understands how you're running, how you're
Mhm.
walking. Okay, this is the IoT that houses the product. You charge it by just simply
Wow.
plugging it in. All right. And basically, what it does is it understands how you're walking, how you're running. If you fall down, it will understand and generate a SOS above and beyond. It's more precise than any smartwatch in the industry. One cool fact that we saw was even like really expensive smartwatches, they just understand that it's basically location based. You walk from A to B. Between A to B, there is 1 kilometer of distance.
Yeah.
According to your height, this should be your steps. That's the calculation. Here, you cannot break the system. All right. Here, you will have to take the steps, do your workout, then only it generates an understanding of what sport you're playing or what, if you're walking, running, sprinting, it will literally put a polyline on the map. Like, say, when you're walking, it'll be green. The polyline will be green. When you're running, it'll be blue. And when you're sprinting, it'll be red. And those colors will reflect out of these IoTs also.
Amazing.
Wow, that's
Amazing.
amazing. That's amazing. Technology. No wonder. Fast, smart shoe. Wow.
The world's first
Above
smart.
and beyond, this is the app. Okay. And you cannot beat the system here. All right. You will have to like walk for it to generate steps. You sit in one place and just shake one leg, it's the count is not going to increase. You have to make the effort in walking and then only it increases. All right. My vision with this is, of course, there are very cool there are cool aspects where um you know you do a gesture, you can control music, you can control your camera, you can control different things, whatever has a IoT or is a smart device like a shoe, like a light or a car or even home automation, you can do with the shoe. But what my real vision with the shoe is, like, say, Miraj, you take a bus to your workplace. Okay.
Right.
So, Jira, you take a car to your workplace versus if I am walking to work, yeah, I should be taxed differently.
Yeah.
Okay. So, later I want to be an affiliate to insurance companies, to energy tax rebates, of how people are actually going about their day.
Wow. That's visionary, man. That's
Hopefully
quite
it works.
visionary. No, no, no. Yeah, that's quite visionary, and you'll have to take government into consideration and have a lot of those serious conversation with the way the country is running. But that's amazing. So, one line definition of Ajanta, one line definition of Impacto. We are coming to the end of our conversation. One line definition of Ajanta, one line definition of Impacto. Then we'll get into the next part of it, some of the tips that you want to give to the people who are doing the family business, because you've been at it and you've been shining, you've been struggling, you've been working hard, and all of that. So some of the tips, 4 5 things, and then we'll get into something very interesting like a rapid fire. So yeah.
Right. So with Ajanta, I would say it's the next big thing, and it's already the biggest thing in Calcutta in terms of the output industry takes out. All right. We are one of the biggest industries in Calcutta. All right. Or one of the biggest factories in terms of output. How I see this in a bigger way is really looking at competition doing the same kind of aspects as we are, and not burning all the raw materials and burning all the waste.
Wow.
All
Wow.
right.
Wow.
Ajanta committing to this fact and majorly getting people and the
Wow.
factories to think on those lines. uh, Impacto, on the other hand, is about putting everyone on the same stage, all athletes, all dancers on the same stage, representing the right, uh, you know, talent and putting them on the same stage. There are so many of our dancers who couldn't afford to go to a jam or a, um, competition outside India. And so many of them we've helped go out, reach out to those competition, and has won and come back, representing India in Japan, in Kazakhstan, m- different places, Russia. All right. So this is something we extensively look with for Impactor.
Right. So community building and having people who are like the stark raving mad fans of Impacto, right?
Yeah, like honestly, like community building is something like everyone talks about. All right, everyone, yeah, we are building community. We are building a running community. We are taking everyone out running every day. I mean, yeah, that's something everyone is doing. But like, if you go onto our Instagram page, the dancers, athletes that we really appreciate, we follow them back. We look at their stories. We look at what they are doing, what they
Right.
need.
Right.
So we look at so we in fact with some of our dancers, like some of the b-boy artists that we have, like b-boy is now Olympic sport, right?
Yeah.
So honestly, I have this friend, his name is Prince. Like he comes out of like, how to sugarcoat it, like he comes out of one of the craziest slums from Calcutta, all right?
Mm-hmm.
And like it's just his dream
Mm-hmm.
for him to take his mother to a better place is
Mm-hmm.
something so cool. Even before Impacto did anything with him, he got the opportunity to go outside India, go to Austria, represent India and his dance form. All right, like, okay, I come out of a golden spoon or a legacy company. I've been born with a golden spoon. But for me to not have the golden spoon and have the ability to go out of India, I mean, it just
Yeah.
boggles my
Yeah.
mind. Like,
Yeah.
it's really
Yeah.
hardcore.
It's
But like,
amazing.
there are a lot of cool talents in Calcutta, especially, all right,
Yeah.
who, like, because of the lack of opportunity here, they move out, and we
Yeah.
look out for these people and we try supporting them in their journey.
Right. Wow. Tips for those who are running family businesses, second generation, third generation, whatever.
So
Mhm.
I'll start with the parents first. All right, for parents I would suggest that let the next generation make small mistakes and learn. All right.
Wow.
and give them small opportunities to, you know, carry on your legacy, and like do small mistakes, do small changes. All right. Don't just put your vision onto him and make, or her, and make them completely work out of that. And for the young ones, you have to be patient. You have to work in a way where you're consistent. All right. So in India, there's this saying where, um, even if you put water on a rock for a very long time, the rock finally cracks. Okay, so you keep doing that and keep doing that patiently.
Wow. Sujira,
Wow.
what is your response to that?
Yeah, for me, it's just this whole conversation. I've just seen Shagnick's like his relentlessness to keep going, no
Sorry,
matter.
I got another call, and the speaker. Yeah, now it's perfect.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, throughout this whole conversation, I've just seen how, your relentlessness, that's what we call tenacity, to just keep going, to have that dream, to have that vision, to see innovation, to like Uber, or these magnificent innovations that imagine Uber, like, but you're this car, this shoe that you're doing 5 years from now, 6 years from now, people are going to be copying you, so it's quite powerful.
Right.
That's just what I see. I just see the innovation. I love that, the smart shoe, like, you smart car, smartphone, and I just think on the marketing perspective, I really believe, like, and that's what this is all about. I think you guys, your scale will depend on how good you are at marketing. That's it. Like,
Yeah.
you guys have everything.
Yeah.
You have the website's amazing. Your Instagram is awesome. I checked out everything. Awesome stuff. Like, when I see it from the outside, it's just more people need to know about it. And how more people are going to know about it is the way is what Mirage said, storytelling, things like this. I think UGC. I'm seeing here in Australia, because I do a lot of work like creating UGC, because they need the content and I do content. So they come to me. So I'm seeing that UGC, you're running ads on Meta and all these UGC. Man, I'm telling you, we're doing it. It works. The content is everything. So I just think you're a visionary. I think having Mirage here and bringing this all together, you're creating history. The first smart shoe. And as I said, I think many people 5 years from now will be copying. Now people are sleeping, but now there will be someone who will copy this idea. I'm telling you, mark my words. So it's up to you now that the whole world needs to see this shoe, because that's just the difference. And that's just personally how I see it. I'd love to hear what you guys think.
Like, honestly, yeah, like, since we are the first to the market, it is a little difficult. So I was explaining Mirage this, the problem statement for this. Yeah, when I first started the shoe, I thought people will just be inquisitive and come see the product. I have a really cool digital stand with a screen, and I just thought when I'm doing events, people will come and ask. But it's so hardcore to make people understand that, look, this is a Bluetooth connected shoe, is really hard. And what I love about Mirage is when he heard the problem statement, instantly, like, he gave me an answer, like, without any we weren't even collaborating back then, but he just, like, like, gave me a free advice, like I would say. And he said that, okay, try taking a big screen, okay, and two cameramen following a person who's wearing the smart shoe, and show the screen and him and his functions together. All right, that will get people's eyeballs onto the product. And like, I've met a lot of consultants, spoken to them about what I'm trying to do, and instantly, someone, like, saying, giving up, like, problem solving answer is like really hard. Usually consultants will go like, okay, you know what, pay my next month's bill, and then we'll talk about it. But Mirage, on that hand, I mean, like, kudos.
Wow. Wow.
You know,
What
you
a
know
great
what it is.
testimonial.
You know what it is, Shagnik and Sujira. It's the brightness of your idea which gave me a thought, and I just shared it. This is called jamming. I've been a musician. I mean, I used to make money as a singer and a, so this is jamming. Somebody plays something brilliantly, you say that, man, I'm gonna sing better than that guitarist, right? And that's what is jamming. And when we were talking, that's all that happened. And I mean, there's a huge potential there, is what I think. Rapid fire questions for you, Shagni, and thanks for calling it out about me. I mean, really appreciate it. I think we were just having fun with the conversation, and your idea. It was your idea which made me think in that direction. It was not my idea. Smart shoes is your idea, so I would put it back on you. One tradition you have kept.
Right. One tradition I've kept is something really weird, and it's something I never thought of. All right. So people spend a lot of money on colors, on the chemical aspect of things. All right. Whereas for me, I there is this coloring agent is called red oxide. All right. So it's just a oxidizing chemical, and how it what happens is adds to the color as well
Right.
as oxidizes the compound. All right,
Right.
like it seems a little scientific, but like weirdly, when like I worked on a, so in my company we used to only use red oxide, and there weren't many other oxidizing agents, so we went back to Tata and got red oxide, yellow oxide, blue oxide, everything developed. All right. And we saved 1 rupee per pair like this. Okay.
Wow.
And then when it went back to my dad's like, why you after this red oxide, blue oxide thing? What's up with you? And I'm like,
Right.
why? What's wrong in it? As long as it saves money. He's like,
Right.
bro, your grandfather was crazy about it. He kept pursuing this for the longest time. And weirdly, there are 10,000 chemicals we use, but like,
And
I don't
you've
know
come
how
back to
that
it.
hatched. Yeah. And like,
Wow. So your grandfather had like that was what he was passionate on and working on.
yeah, yeah. Instead of using color, using a oxidizing agent to do the color.
Wow.
And
And you
and,
came
and
back to it.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah.
And that's GNA, the way that works. Can I ask you, what does the name Shagnik mean? What does it mean?
So it means a person who can control fire.
Person who can control fire. What do you think that means to your life?
um, honestly, like I think what my dad wanted is probably make people take me seriously. All right, but I like the way I am. I like being casual. I like
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
candid, and
Yeah.
not.
I mean,
I don't want to represent a very serious company and serious brand.
yeah. And
Uh,
that is something which I'll vouch for, Sujira. I've interacted a lot with Shagnik. He's the most transparent, from heart person or a business owner that I've come across. And same is true with his father. I've interacted with him as well in a very different way, but exactly the same, you know. And so one tradition you dropped.
Right. So one tradition that I dropped was most designers in many companies, like what they do is they work separately. They make products. They make a kind of a prototype, and then like a lot of people judge that, okay, is it right, is it wrong, okay, what will work. All right, instead of that, we are now working in a way where digitally a shoe line is created. Okay, no materials are wasted, no time is wasted, none of the skill is wasted.
Right.
All right, after that we sit all together and we figure out what we can do storytelling on.
Right.
Okay, and then we come back and develop those products a few times, maybe do 2-3 prototyping, and then we get into the launch.
Got it. Amazing.
So this way, usually, I think just on prototyping, usually brands spend, probably like in millions. All right, just creating different designs, different soul molds, different things. Here we have really reduced that to, I don't know, maybe in like just a few thousands.
Right. Amazing. Now, okay, one thing that you've introduced which is new to the organization.
Well, that's a hard one. Uh,
Apart from smart shoes.
right. Um, okay. So this one's really close to all of our workforce. All right. So I came across this. I came across this data, all right, that in 2008, like what we saw was we are one of the largest school shoe manufacturers in Eastern India, all right. So what we saw was that boy school shoe was probably being sold 10-15 times higher than girls' school shoes, all right.
Right. Right.
What we realized was there were more boys actually going to school and less girls going to school. All right.
Wow. Right. Right.
And fast forward that post COVID, we actually sell more girls' school shoes than boys' school shoes. So, this data, as soon as we saw this, I'm like, boss, we're going to do the 10-year challenge just on this data. And when it went out to the consumers, everyone felt really nice about it.
Incredible. I mean, that's talk about the gender equality, and that's what you guys are doing. I mean, it's amazing from the, and that is something which is so much needed, especially in the eastern part of the country, India, especially in India or any of these. Um, I mean, these kind of countries. Sujira, anything you've got to add?
Yeah, no, I think this has been amazing conversation, and I just can't wait to see what the future holds and where you guys are going. I think, yeah, from the family story, and I think this is just great for the family offices because we have quite a lot of family offices who come in and watch this show. A lot of them are investors or even have this. They're running national businesses, right? So it's about how do we just continue that legacy. When I think about it, Shagnik, even and I also think of my story, like my grandfather was, multi-millionaire businessman in Rwanda. So it just like you're the dream.
Rwanda, right?
Rwanda, yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
He started transportation. He saw the opportunity, bikes and transport it and brought it. So when I see Shagnik, it's like you're the dream for people like me in terms of I'm building something that my grandchildren, my grandkids are could be doing and running and taking the name even further than I could ever do. And as long as we're putting them on a platform, so you've had that from your past, and so now it's your responsibility to take the family name even further, to go even bigger, to take the name international, to take it all over the world. So I think this has been an amazing conversation, and I want to thank Mirage for being able to help put this all together. And I just can't wait, marketing with Sujira and Mirage, where we're taking this, and for all the brands out there, the companies who want to be able to have this advice. And you see that powerful advice Mirage gave earlier. I think that's a great testimonial just in terms of having great minds around you to help you see things that you don't see. So you guys can come join us on the podcast or get in touch with us. So yeah, Mirage, I'll leave it to you.
Sujira, find us a market in Australia.
Let's do it, guys. Let's have another meeting. We have another meeting. Come to Australia. There's opportunity. Actually, we should actually have another meeting.
Absolutely, I'm serious, and I know Shagnik also would be serious about it, because Impacto is something, and the way I've seen it, it has the right potential to be global. I mean, the B-boy should be dancing in the Super Bowl in the next 3 years or 4 years in the US with wearing Impacto. That's the vision one should have.
Yeah,
I mean, correct me
exactly.
if I'm wrong, Shagnik.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, whoever is performing, the guys who are dancing along should be wearing
Yeah.
Impacto.
Yeah.
True fact being, we are there in a few MBO outlets in Australia, um,
Wow.
and
Oh,
not being able to supply their sizes because they keep wanting UK 14 and 15. Uh, we are still building on it, but yeah, soon we are trying to take this whole Australian markets in a much bigger way.
Amazing.
is that a supply chain issue on that end?
Uh, just on the aspect that like my highest sellers are usually within UK 10 in India,
Mhm.
and in Australia it's more UK 14, UK 15. Okay, so we are trying to bridge the gap.
No, amazing. I think we can work that out. And I think what just came to my mind, we should aim at being at Super Bowl in like 3 years' time.
Hopefully, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, just summing up, I think I'll just say a few things. Amazing. Thank you for your time. And Shagnik, I know your time is very precious, as is it is, and it should be for everyone. I mean, time is the
But
biggest.
I'm
Time
sure
is the
for
biggest.
you guys it's the same.
No, no, time is the biggest currency, I feel. The more I live and the more I go, whatever, I realize that. But thanks for your time and thanks for taking us through the journey right from the 70 years when it was like 3,000 pairs a day to what your fathers did, 2 lakhs, and to what smart shoes and the Impacto and selling in Dubai. It's like a complete journey, and you took us through it brilliantly. A few takeaways for me and for the people who would be listening to it currently or later is that you've got to keep on evolving. Part number one, you've got to be relentless in your pursuit if you're inheriting something and you're trying to do something new, because it will meet with friction, it will meet with some sort of challenge, because the old school is always the old school, right? But you will have to be, as you said, the example of water pouring over the rock again and again and again and again and again, and finally there will be a crack. And that relentlessness from the new generation is what is really really required. And I'm amazed at your maturity, that you understand it and you are at it, because there are times when you get pissed off and you get irritated and annoyed, but if you know the bigger picture, that you have to be at it again and again with the goal in your mind and in a calm way, it will happen. And that's the other takeout for me. And the third thing is that if you don't evolve, if you don't grow beyond what you have built, you will die.
Mm.
Precisely.
That's the rule of life. I mean, that's why Madonna kept evolving, that's why Bob Dylan kept evolving, or that's why any person who's been around for a in his career or in the business. Coca-Cola has evolved its logo some 12 times in the last 100 years, right? I mean, that's Coca-Cola. It's still the greatest top 5 brands of the world. So change is the only constant, and that's what we should keep doing. And that's what I have to say. And what a conversation! I mean, we had stipulated 45 minutes for this. We are at 1 hour 17 minutes. We'll have to abridge it, Sujira, to make it palatable for people who do not have so much time.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, honestly, amazing visionaries. I want to be able to thank you guys so much today for an amazing conversation, and stay tuned for the next episode with Marketing with Miraj and Sujira.
Yep.
Amazing. Cheers,
Thanks,
guys.
Nick. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for giving your time on a Saturday.
No worries.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Lovely to be here.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers.
Take care.